Gary Yohe is now joining us for more insight on COP27. He's the Huffington Foundation Professor of Economics and Environmental Studies at the Wesleyan University, as well as a 2007 Nobel Peace Prize winner. Gary, it's an honor to speak with you. Thank you for joining our show. As you may have guessed, climate change is a very important topic to us, our network, and our viewers. But it's also one of the things that frustrates us the most, in that we have all these great discussions and somehow we don't get enough of the, I guess, action. Help us better understand what we have to do.
I think you're exactly right. It is frustrating. Your preview mentioned the adaptation fund. It's supposed to be $100 billion. In 2020, it was $87 billion. That's a lot of money, but it's not $100 billion. The efforts to reduce emissions, I just find it difficult to understand why countries would commit in this geopolitical environment for another 4 or 5 or 6 years when they don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 or 6 months. It's just a very, very, very difficult time. And so I'm looking forward to the COP27. I hope that things will be accomplished, but I'm not all that optimistic.
One of the things that we've always talked about is we can agree that governments aren't real great at leading the charge. I mean, they say nice things, but we do need private companies who have money, who have investment dollars, and have the ability to make change very quickly, in fact, because it's less bureaucratic, right? Shouldn't we expect private companies, and I'm including public ones too, to do more, or is that a fair expectation as a private citizen?
That is a very fair expectation. Michael Bloomberg is there. He is delivering 97 different action items for small companies, big companies, citizens, communities, outfits like that. And I think you were exactly right. Countries are difficult to move, difficult to get in line, difficult to make decisions. But corporations, companies, citizens, communities, they can do that. And Michael Bloomberg is working on that problem.
I, along with you, I'm sure have attended various climate change conferences. This one, COP27, I guess it's somewhat unique in a sense that we're coming out of this pandemic, and there's definitely a lot of attention because of where energy prices are and where the supply chain crisis is today. What can we expect in terms of, I mean, maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but are there some news target points that could be good or a surprise to the upside that we could anticipate for?
I don't think so. I think that the environment is so chaotic that it's going to be very, very difficult for 196 countries to come on board. I do agree with where you led me earlier, that communities and individuals and companies and corporations will see the handwriting on the wall, and they will make the effort and undertake that. That won't come out of the UN notices, but it will come out of COP27.
I would personally like to see the world's biggest economies do more, right? The United States, China, Japan, the United Kingdom, I mean, everybody, all these big countries, they can all do more. And in fact, they can put their heads together and at least have some, they may not agree on politics, but they can at least agree on climate change and climate action. I mean, you would think that we could get there. What can we do as average citizens, or what do you think the COP27 folks should do to get more people in the room to come to an agreement?
I think COP27 needs to look at the environment right now and say that this is not a time to double down on fossil fuels and not a time to double down on liquefied natural gas. It is a time to double down on clean energy, distributed energy sectors across the country, the United States, China. China is flooding the world with solar panels and windmills. You guys, you're doing it because it's in your best interest and you make money, but you are doing really, really good work. Just keep it up.
Gary, I want to thank you for your time. It's an honor to speak to a Nobel Prize Peace winner. I don't do that very often. Thank you, and we hope to speak with you again.